Foxborough feels like it's holding its breath right now, and there are 4 storylines floating around that could shape this wild card night in ways a lot of people aren't quite braced for. One is our quarterback stepping into the one stage that separates awesome season from we'll be talking about this for years. Another is a 2026 name being floated that fits exactly what this new Patriots identity is trying to become. And yeah, that one's gonna light up the comments fast. Then there's the one thing that always travels in January. No matter how loud it gets, a run game hitting its stride at the perfect time. And finally, there's this behind-the-scenes competitiveness that never shows up on a stat sheet, but you feel it when the game tightens. You're not gonna believe what we've got today, so get comfortable, tap that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and let's get into it. Because here's the thing. This isn't just another game. This is Drake Maye's first playoff start. That changes the air inside Gillette Stadium. It's one thing to engineer a comeback in October. It's something else to glance at the clock on a Sunday night in January and know every possession can decide your entire season. That's where quarterbacks either speed up in the worst way or they settle in and level up. What's almost scary, if you're the Chargers, is how steady Maye sounds about all of it. He's been saying Mike Vrabel's message has been simple and kind of ruthless. Don't change the process. Don't change the preparation. Don't start hunting for magic just because the lights are brighter. Maye admitted the natural thing is to get a little extra amped. So he's pushed guys to do a little more. Stay after practice, run extra routes, clean up the tiny details. But the point is, you're not doing anything out of the ordinary. In the playoffs, your routine is your anchor. And it's also why the MVP chants started echoing through Gillette in the first place. Maye finished the season completing 72% of his passes, franchise record territory, along with 4,394 yards and 31 touchdowns. And when plays break down, he doesn't panic. He doesn't fold. He added 450 rushing yards and 4 more scores on the ground. That's not just arm talent. That's the whole package: velocity, touch, all script creation. And the ability to punish man coverage when defenders turn their backs. But be honest, numbers don't pick up a pass rush. That's where the tension lives. Playoff football is disguises, simulated pressure, third and long snaps, where one mistake becomes the headline before you even hit the sideline. The Chargers are going to try to muddy the picture, make Maye hesitate for half a beat, bait the hero ball, steal a possession early. They're hunting for that new to the postseason moment, and Maye's answer to that has been exactly what you want from a young star. He's trying to be the same guy he's been since week 1. Prove to his teammates he doesn't morph into a different quarterback just because it's January. I've got to play well for us to win, he said. That's the job, that's the position, and he doesn't want it any other way. So I'm tossing it straight to Patriots Nation. Do you trust him to take the check down when the whole stadium is screaming for the deep shot? Because if he stays cool and protects the ball, this stops sounding like nice playoff appearance and starts sounding like a real playoff run. And while we're locked in on the postseason right now, there's a 2026 conversation already hanging over the building. For once, New England isn't spending January talking like a rebuilding team. The receiver room is in a better place than it's been in a long time, and the roster looks like it's set up for an offseason that's more, how do we upgrade, than how do we survive? That's why there's talk. Nothing is confirmed yet about a wide receiver who could make a lot of sense in this offense: Alec Pierce. He's not the loudest name on the market, and honestly, that might be part of why this feels so plausible. He's 25, coming off a 1,000-yard season, plays with an edge, and he can win downfield. Sure hands, real vertical ability. If you're building around Drake Maye, you're going to prioritize weapons that match what he already does well. And Maye has already shown he's one of the more accurate deep ball throwers in the league. Picture the structure of it. You've got Kayshon Boutte continuing to grow. You've got Stephon Diggs bringing that veteran presence and route craft. Mac Hollins doing the dirty work, blocking, battling, setting a tone when it's not glamorous. Add Pierce as a true field stretcher. And now, defenses have to make uncomfortable choices. Keep a safety over the top and lighten the box? Fine. Now you're basically asking to get leaned on in the run game. Load up to stop the run? Okay, Maye's going to take chunk plays outside when your corners are stuck on islands. And I know what some fans are going to say. Give me a bigger headline name. I get it, but timing matters. Pierce is trending up, and pairing a rising receiver with a young franchise quarterback isn't just about one season. It's chemistry, rhythm, building something together while both are still climbing. A 3-year deal in that range being floated, again, nothing confirmed, would be a pretty loud signal that the Patriots are pushing hard into Maye's window. So let me ask you straight, would you rather chase the flashier name or build a receiver-quarterback connection that can own the AFC for the next 5 years? Drop your take, because I already know this one's going to split the room. Now, if we're talking about building around your quarterback, playoff football demands balance. When communication gets messy, when the crowd is roaring, when the passing game hits a rough patch for a quarter, you need something you can lean on. And the Patriots' run game is heating up at exactly the right moment. Over the final month of the regular season, this backfield turned into a real problem. New England ran for 723 yards in the last 4 games, second most in the league over that stretch. They punched in 10 rushing touchdowns in that same span, best in the NFL, and averaged a wild 6.1 yards per carry. That's not empty production. That's a physical identity showing up right before the postseason, when games get colder and hits get louder. What makes it even tougher is it hasn't been one guy doing all the heavy lifting. It's been a true 1-2 punch. Travion Henderson bringing burst, one-cut violence, and big playability. Ramondre Stevenson bringing power, patience, and veteran vision. One stresses your angles, the other breaks your will. Simple as that. Stevenson, in particular, hit the kind of stride that makes defensive coordinators stare at the tape a little longer than they want to. After dealing with a toe injury and missing time, he found his rhythm when it mattered most. Over those final 4 games, he piled up 279 rushing yards, averaged 9.6 yards per carry, and scored 6 touchdowns. He even earned AFC Offensive Player of the Week after shredding Miami for a career-high 131 yards and 3 total touchdowns. That's a veteran playing his best ball in January. And Henderson has been exactly what you hoped from a second-round pick. He closed the season with 911 rushing yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. And he was named Offensive Rookie of the Month for November. Down the stretch, he kept hitting creases, stayed decisive, and this part matters, kept his focus where it needs to be. He said he wasn't chasing personal goals. He was chasing wins. Put them together, and you're forcing defenses into nasty decisions. Safeties creep down, Maye hits you over the top off play action. Safeties stay back, the Patriots keep pounding you until you crack in the red zone. That's how teams steal playoff games. Controlling tempo, winning the hidden downs, making third and short feel automatic. So here's the debate. What matters more against the Chargers? Maye's arm or the ground game controlling the night? Because if your answer is both, then you're starting to see why this team feels different. And the last thread today is the one fans love to argue about because it's subtle, but it's real. We live in a world where people rush to crown the next all-time great way too early. Drake Maye is not Tom Brady, and it's way too soon for that kind of talk. But teammates have started sharing little stories that explain why the comparison even pops up. Not because of rings, not because of numbers, because of competitiveness. After the win over Miami, guys talked about how Maye competes in everything, ping pong, cards, whatever. Garrett Bradbury mentioned it. If there's a score, Maye hates losing. And longtime Patriots fans know that sounds familiar, because Brady's teammates used to tell the same kind of stories. Not because ping pong wins Super Bowls, but because it shows you a mindset that never shuts off. Maye said it himself too. He grew up with older brothers, and that environment pulled it out of him. If he's keeping score, he is going to do whatever he can to win. That edge matters when your plan A gets punched in the mouth. It matters when a game turns into a fist fight in the fourth quarter. Competitiveness doesn't guarantee anything, but it gives you a baseline, an internal standard that doesn't bend when the moment gets heavy. And that's why all 4 of these stories connect. A quarterback stepping onto the biggest stage with a steady process, a potential 2026 weapon being floated that fits what Maye does best, a backfield peaking at the exact time January demands it, and a locker room competitiveness that can change culture, not just the final score. None of this guarantees a win. The Chargers are disciplined, they've been in this stage, and they're going to make you earn every inch. It won't be easy. It might not be pretty. But if you've been waiting for Foxborough to feel like Foxborough again, you can feel it coming. So let's end it like this. Which factor swings this wild card for you? The quarterback's poise, the run game's dominance, or the mindset inside the locker room? Tell me in the comments. And if you're riding with Patriots Nation, hit like, subscribe, and let's live this January together.